What is the value of the expression 9 squared minus 2 multiplied by open parenthesis 16 divided by 4 times 2 close parenthesis and all square? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? This expression has tricked 99% of people and made them choose the wrong answer. Let's go step by step and solve it together. To solve this question, many people first go straight to 9 squared and they simplify this expression to 81 minus 2 multiplied by 16 divided by 4 times 2 inside the parenthesis and all square. And the next step, they perform the subtraction between 81 and 2 and write this expression as 79 multiplied by 16 divided by 4 times 2 inside the parenthesis and all square. Then they move on to the expression inside the parenthesis and solve the division between 16 and 4. So they simplify this expression to 79 multiplied by 4 times 2 inside the parenthesis and all square. Next, they do the multiplication between 4 and 2 and write this expression as 79 multiplied by 8 squared. Finally, they do the exponent and simplify this expression to 79 multiplied by 64, which finally gives them the answer 5056. Then, they quickly say that the correct answer to this question is option D. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. Also, some other people when solving this question first go straight to the expression inside the parentheses because they believe parentheses have the highest priority among all the operations. And they solve the multiplication between 4 and 2 because they think multiplication has a higher priority than division. So, they rewrite this expression as 9 squared minus 2 multiplied by 16 divided by 8 inside the parentheses and all square. And the next step, they perform the division between 16 and 8 and write this expression as 9 squared minus 2 multiplied by 2 squared. Then they go for the exponents and write this expression as 81 minus 2 multiplied by 4. And the final step, they perform the multiplication between 2 and 4 because they believe multiplication has a higher priority than subtraction. And this expression simplified to 81 minus 8, which ultimately gives them the answer 73. And immediately, they conclude that option B is the correct answer to this question. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. To solve this question, we must carefully follow the PEMDAS rule step by step. And this rule, P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponent, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. We need to perform all the operations exactly in order from top to bottom according to the PEMDAS rule. So, first we go for the expression inside the parentheses because parentheses have the highest priority than the other operation. And inside the parentheses, first we have a division sign and then a multiplication sign. It's very important to note that multiplication and division have exactly the same level of priority. In this situation, we must start from the left and perform these two operations in order. So, first we go for the division between 16 and 4 and write this expression as 9 squared minus 2 multiplied by 4 times 2 inside the parentheses and all square. And the next step, we perform the multiplication between 4 and 2. And this expression simplified to 9 squared minus 2 multiplied by 8 squared. Now, it's time for the exponents because after parentheses, exponent has a higher priority than the other operation. So, we rewrite this expression as 81 minus 2 multiplied by 64. And the final step, we perform the multiplication between 2 and 64 because multiplication has a higher priority than subtraction. And this expression simplified to 81 minus 128, which finally gives us the answer negative 47. That's great. Option A is the correct answer to this question.